Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to review and talk about the Mother 1 Encore demo. Before I begin, I just wanted to point out that I understand that it's called Mother 1, or Earthbound Beginnings, but since it took a while for Earthbound Beginnings to be localized, I've always known it as Earthbound 0, which is what I'll be referring to in this video. Now the Earthbound series is one of my favorite series, it's at least in the top 3, and I love all 3 equally. I just like different things about each one. There's some things that I like that the other one does that the others don't, if that makes sense. Now this being a fan remake, I was scared of 2 things, and I still am until I see the final product, but I was afraid they would change it drastically and change the story up a lot, or make it a super fan-ish, basically parroting it, because it's a fan game. But for the demo, the Mother Encore feels just like Persona 4 Golden to the original Persona 4. Like, a lot of the dialogue is the same, with some up-to-date styles that Earthbound 1 and 2, or Mother 2 and 3, like the towns seem more lively, and that you can knock on the doors like how you did in Earthbound, well, on some of the doors. And a lot of the main story dialogue is pretty much intact, with maybe a little extra sentences here and there. And the gameplay is faster and easier, they give you a sense of direction where to go. The map is smaller and condensed and closer, which is a good thing because I played Earthbound 0 so many times, I still get annoyed with the long travels in the beginning, and that my sense of direction in the game is kind of garbage and I forget that there's a map. I also love that you can run around like in Mother 3. But in here it's even better because you can hold down the button. But if your fingers start to get sore, you can hold the button down for a little bit and then let go and you're constantly running like how in Mother 3. I love that the enemies are on the map and they look like the originals. And I love that Ninten has a skill called Curveball and he can attack all enemies as if he has an offensive PK, which I hope he learns more skills. Because in the original, he's more of a status buff healer type. So I thought that was awesome. But before we continue with the positives, I like to talk about some of the negatives first and then wrap it up with some positives. The first thing I did not like was the Pippi's dungeon. Now in the original, you just walk down that area and then there she is in the coffin. In this game, however, it's a whole dungeon itself. When I first saw it, I thought it was pretty cool, but it kind of overstayed its welcome in my opinion. And it kind of wore me out and I was hoping I was near the end because I didn't like getting all those keys to get to the door. But that could also be because in the original, you can go down and just get her and you can just breeze through the game if you know where to go and how to do things. But when I give it more thought, maybe, now if you're one of the developers and you see this video, let me know. Maybe it's because normally when you go to the zoo right afterwards, the enemies there will destroy you. Maybe they do this dungeon so you can level up a little bit more to make it more balanced. If that's the case, all for it. It just threw me off guard and personally I thought it went on a little bit too long. And you also get to fight Pippi as a boss. I think that was pretty cool. Same for our old country boy Wally as well, so I think that was pretty cool, but that's kind of the up-to-date gameplay that I like to see in remakes. But one thing I did like, because if you're like me, and I really don't hold on to money, because I don't want to die and lose half of it, so I don't really carry too much on me. I like that the enemies dropped a lot of healing items, so it wasn't too difficult. I really do appreciate that, because now that I'm older, I don't have time to grind on these games or to really play difficult games. So them doing this was pretty nice, because again, I don't carry money on me, and I don't really save that often, because I don't give $10 for the payphone. So that made the game more balanced, and the dungeon much more bearable. Speaking of the first dungeon, I like that how you get this bat that allows you to break obstacles, but you can also attack the enemy with it. But if you're like me, and you kind of suck, it's kind of hard to kill the enemies, but it's also nice to get that extra hit on them. But I kind of wish they would just die when you ran into them if you're like stronger than them like they did in Earthbound. I also don't like that it's hard to run away from enemies like the original, even if you get a back attack. And the back attacks are similar to Earthbound and Mother 3. I also wish when you would go over to select an attack, you could just hold it instead of manually tapping it each time. But as a minor developer in games myself, and I've dabbled in it, but no means am I compared to these guys, because that would be an insult to them. I understand how difficult that would be, and they might have problems with that, but that's just a minor complaint. But I mean, other than that, I mean, like the attacks, the battles are amazing. The seeing the little Ninten's attack and swinging his bat down there and him getting hit and like in the spinning HP bar just put a smile on my face. Also, the ability to allow you to heal and to save before the boss, like with the little teapot in the payphone. I thought that was just incredible. I thought that was amazing. Now, this might just be me, but I personally thought the Starman Jr. battle was a little bit, not necessarily tough, but went on a little bit longer than I would have expected. And I kind of wish there was like an auto battle feature. I also like the menus. I think they look good. Everything from the status screen to the items, like finally you can hold a lot more items, and then key items has its own slot. And this is just a joke, but when you attack and the enemy dies and there's multiple ones there, it automatically goes to the one that's alive. Another thing too, I don't know if it's where I played Earthbound 0 so many times, but I knew where to go and like just muscle memory. So the map, and like I said, even though they condensed it, but they made it so faithful. Like it's just so faithful to the original with its own added pizzazz to it. Overall, it really is the ideal remake. These people have done amazing, and I'm so thankful thankful for this group and this project, and I really hope they see this and so they know how thankful I truly am. The added twists that they added to dungeons, like the eagle feather that allows you to jump, I thought that was just very clever. It's like they took the thing that I already loved and just added a little more pizzazz to it, and that's all I would ever want, and I think they did excellent on this. I think it was just amazing. But they even brought back that feeling that I got when I first played Earthbound 0, and that's the first one I ever played in the series, and it just, I don't know, it captured that moment for me again when I played through the Earthbound series. It's amazing. It's so incredible. My mind's blown by this. And if you're part of the fan base, show these people lots of love and support, like from the artists to the music, remakes, to the people that program it, just the whole team in general. It is just one heck of a ride, and I had a smile the whole time playing it, and I was just felt overjoyed, and I really hope they see this to the end, and I really hope that I can try to even encourage them or make them feel good about it, because they've done such an amazing work here. And I've blabbered on long enough, but thank you so much if you made it this far. Thank you to the Mother Encore Project workers. Your love for the series have just shown from this demo alone, and I'm just mind blown from this. And continue the amazing work, and I'll see you next time.